hopefully this works.
Okay, Kevin, let's play. Let's play you and I.
I think it's going. All right, hopefully it's going.
Okay, you're the control room guy, so you
Yeah.
better know if it's going or not.
I don't know if it's going.
Okay, Kevin.
All right.
It's
So
okay, buddy.
I'm gonna start this off by telling you wouldn't believe this news. I need some water for this. So, a buddy of mine who I used to work with, he sends me an email with this posting, right?
Right.
He knows I used to do the podcast for work, and I do some podcasts for fun, and he sends me this link. It's an ad looking for volunteer podcasters, right?
Ooh, yeah. Opportunity knocking.
Yeah. And so it's Ryerson University is looking for people to do podcasts. And
You know what?
what?
That would be a good connection. Ryerson has a good reputation.
Do they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's where most of the big names, mine included, started out and have gotten known in broadcasting. I'm serious.
I had no idea.
No, I'm being serious. Yeah,
All
that's
I
a
know
good
about-
thing.
All I know about Ryerson University is apparently they used to be a college, and then they grew up one day and became a university.
Well, it became a polytechnical institution,
Oh,
and then they just got far too big for their britches, and now I guess they're a university. You
Yeah.
just told me something I knew nothing about.
oh no, you didn't know that they used to be a
This is
college?
very informative show you have here, Kevin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, apparently the university folk, they're always ripping on each other's universities being like of lower quality, and this is one of the digs at Ryerson is it used to be a college yesterday.
Well, it's all about money, right?
Yeah.
Everything is about money. So yeah, of course they're ragging on each other all the time. Absolutely. But is your friend going to Ryerson?
No. This guy is like a couple of years older than me. I worked with him for years. Yeah, he's done with the school.
Is he in the business?
No, he's a project manager. So for like
Oh,
IT.
right. Okay, I'm sorry. At work, at your work?
Yeah. So anyway, so more about this this posting. So I did a little bit of digging, and
Yep.
it's not just podcasting; it's AM radio, right? So
Yeah.
So going into it, I was thinking, okay, they want podcasts for Ryerson. What's the point? Why would I be interested in doing that? I can start a podcast by myself and put it on the internet, and whatever proceeds or revenue come in from that, that's 100% mine, right? Why would I want to hook up my saddle to Ryerson University? I don't know, Dave. I don't really know the answer, but
you know what? That's a good point you bring up, but probably not. But the ability to reach more people.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
And the other thing too is, if you go that way, you never know who else you're going to be connected with.
True. Another
right.
good point.
And if it's an affiliation with Ryerson, I mean, that's the spot that gets a lot of people work in Toronto.
But are they going to give
thinking of broadcast?
But are they going to give me a discount on courses though, Dave? That's what I'm
highly unlikely. Highly unlikely, my man. Highly unlikely. But the question to you is, would it be worth it for what you want to do and where you want to get to?
Yeah.
You need connections, my boy. Connections.
That's definitely true.
Because I'm not helping you in any way, shape, or form. So you need other connections.
All right.
But it's a good thing, Kevin. I would look into it.
So I'll knock on Mr. Ryerson's door tomorrow and tell him I'm in. But
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So anyway. What do you lose? What do you lose? Nothing.
Time and effort. But time is money.
Yeah. Okay. You got plenty of time, mister.
Yeah. But anyway, this, So
okay.
Apparently they broadcast these podcasts over the AM airwaves, which that's worth something, right? I mean, you could reach another medium that probably wouldn't be possible without the help of an organization the size of Ryerson or, I don't know, the CBC.
Yeah. A while ago, AM was supposed to die out, but I think it does well with stations such as CFRB, 640. I mean, there's a big market out there for people, and I'm probably in the same age group, right? That'll listen to that during the day.
True. Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of interesting topics. It's all about news.
And I
So
still think, and podcasting still isn't reaching as many people as I think it eventually will, right? Because there's such a barrier to entry with podcasting. You have to know about it. You got to know about the shows you want
yeah,
to listen to specifically, you know?
yeah.
But anyway, so I sent the lady at Ryerson an email, and she
Oh,
pinged me
you've done
back.
that already.
Oh yeah, oh
Well,
yeah.
you don't need my bloody advice, do you? Good for you.
She got back to me within like an hour, right? She
Wow.
sent me a form to fill out,
See, they're looking for raw talent,
I guess.
right? They're looking for something new.
Yeah,
Always.
I think so.
Always. Good.
So she sends me the form, and I'm perusing it's basically a contract, right? It's a bunch of like things you're agreeing to. And some of them are you have to do an hour's worth of their training, and you pick out of the three types. Do you want to do like a spoken word podcast? Do you want to do a music review show? And then I forget what the third one is. But yeah, so they want you to do an hour of training. They also want you to agree to a bunch of terms, including, and I sent her back a bunch of questions. I told her I'd love to do a phone call, but
Yeah.
if you take up a time slot on Ryerson's radio, you can't be on anyone else's radio.
That's going to be in the contract, right?
Yeah. So apparently, as soon as you do a show on someone else's radio, you're now done with Ryerson. You have to give up your volunteer spot to some other up and comer, I guess.
It
Right?
seems to be quite a few rules for a volunteer position.
I know.
But
yeah,
you said they're providing you with some training.
an hour.
Oh, it's only an hour?
It's
Only
an hour. So
I see an hour and you're ready to go.
I'm assuming within the hour, it's just going to be don't say, don't say. Don't.
You just said it. You just said them all.
I could bleep these out.
Okay, good. I think when you were talking about just before this, you were talking about why not keep all the money to yourself, revenue or whatever, however you make the money on this podcasting.
The pennies. Keep all the
And-
pennies to myself. Yeah.
Okay, but what is stopping you from doing this with Ryerson? You're going to use some of their equipment. You don't know if you're going to learn anything from them. You probably will from somebody along the line. Right?
Yeah.
If you started it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to need if you want to get, and you know what? It's exposure, I'm assuming. So what the hell? It's win-win. And you know what? If you want to get out of that little contract, let them kick you out.
yeah.
But get your words out first, right?
Yeah. True.
You've got to develop a reputation, get your shtick going.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? If that was me, I would do it. And I would take what I could from them. And who knows, either stick with them if I like what's going on, or just say, Chabelle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
No. And you know
Right?
what else? I think it would be a good move.
You don't know where this will take you. So if you're starting out now, which you are basically,
Mm-hmm.
and you've already learned a lot. And if a place like that, I'm assuming, do you do an audition for them?
It doesn't sound like it. It
Or
sounds.
you just walk in, and if you sound like a knucklehead like me, you're in?
I think so.
Okay, if you don't want it, give it to me.
Okay. I'll send you the email. I'll send you the email.
No problem. I'll get on that. Like,
Okay.
you know what? I'll be on that. Like a dog on a bone. Listen, what are you going to do then?
What's make or
Pursue it.
break is going to be if they tell me that if I send them the podcast, because I want to pre-record them all, right? I send them the podcasts, and I'm hoping they air them in the time slot, like over the air. And
Yes.
if I'm allowed to hold on to the ownership of those episodes and post them on the internet myself after they air, then I'm in. If they tell me
Wow.
I can't do that, I'm out, because the real money is to be made online by yourself. So
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm thinking when you're talking like this, it's well thought out. Why aren't you going into law?
because I have to do. It's a lot of it. I think it's 7 years of university, Dave.
Why don't you write up the contract and send it to them,
Yeah,
what you like,
actually, not a bad idea.
and see how they take that, and then go from there.
Well, it's funny you said that, because what my experience now with work dealing with lawyers and dealing with real estate agents, it
Yeah.
sounds like that's exactly what you can do with contracts.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? You can write anything into a contract. Why do you think that the courts are full and overloaded? Because you can sue for anything, to anything you want to write in there.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in a market to buy a home. You can write anything you want in there.
Right. But like,
You know what I mean?
as a regular off the street Joseph, somebody hands you a contract, it's printed and everything. The impression is this is it, right?
Well, why? Okay, that's the impression.
Yeah.
So you go over the contract and you say, yeah, good, not, have it, want it. That's up to you in any contract. Or they can say, you know what, get out. That's fine.
All right. Well, you know where I learned that? My wife and I were trying to put a bid on a house, right? And the real estate agent throws a contract at us, and sitting there, having a little powwow, or I don't know if I can say that anymore. Meeting. Let's call it a meeting at a restaurant.
Well, you know what? You said a few other things. You I don't think powwow's really going to bother anybody. Hey, potty mouth, you continue.
Okay.
Continue.
So we're having a meeting. He throws the contract at us, right? He wants to lock us in for 4 months, right? We put a bid on a house, then he owns us for 4 months. If this bid doesn't go through, then we can't do business with anybody else but him for 4 months, right?
You know what? Yeah. I think that's kind of a standard thing now.
Well,
but then again, you can negotiate that one.
That's what I found out, because I told him, I was like, oh shit, man. Well, I see you got the contract already made up and everything, but I'm sorry. I can't lock myself in with you for 4 months, right? I barely know you. And then he takes his pen out, he crosses out 4 months, he writes in 3.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, is it that easy?
What a surprise.
You mean you don't have to go reprint this thing?
No. Yeah. You can do anything you want. You can, and you've proven that. And thank God you had that experience, because now you know. Yeah. And a lot of people would get involved with whether it be real estate or something else. And as long as it's with any kind of contract, you can make any change you want. And they always have the flexibility, but it is to their benefit to have you locked in. And I've known a few people over the years that have stuck with the real estate agent because of that type of agreement, and they're absolutely frustrated. They're not getting their home, they're not getting a home to buy or to sell. So you know what? Bon voyage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happens if say you had the little now I don't know for sure, because I haven't bought a home for about 120 years, but so I'm taking an educated guess. So what happens if I'm sure even with a contract like that, and you think, oh, well, I've got to stick with it because I signed this thing. I'm sure there's ways to get out of that. And what are they going to do? What is somebody going to do with a little real estate contract? I don't know. I would like to know if anybody's had that problem.
Yeah, me too. I would like to hear about that.
Yeah. So what are the consequences?
Well, I would assume, and this is my assumption, I'm taking a giant leap here, that they would take me to court and sue me for probably about $15,000, which is about
15. How long do you think that's going to take?
I don't know. I have no.
Exactly. How many courts right now? I don't know about that. Well, but anyway,
houses are big money. 15K is nothing to bat an eye at. I'm sure the brokerage might have like a lawyer on retainer that might be able to handle these things, right?
I think both parties would probably just walk away in the end.
You might be right. I don't really know.
I think, and you talk about 15K, but in the grand scheme of things these days, really, how much is that?
Well,
really,
yeah, now
for them to go through court and go through the procedures, the cost of that, I'm not too sure.
Well, the way housing prices have gone in the last 6 months in the Greater Toronto area, I think that 15K would now be about 20 to 25K.
Well, good point.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. Next.
Next. Well, anyway, since we're talking about houses, right?
We are.
It's been crazy the way the market's going, and I've recently I've moved out of the downtown core to shack up with my parents in my hometown, right? And
I prefer to say they're nice enough to let you come in and live with them.
Okay.
All right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, since we're talking about my brother,
yeah,
sister-in-law, I think I wanted to throw that in.
Okay.
But continue, Kevin. You're doing very well.
All right. So
Okay, so you're living with them
we're wife and I are
for a little
now
while.
living with my parents. So we're trying to
Yeah,
save a few bucks to, sweeten our offers on
that's a
homes,
great idea. Yep.
right? And I've noticed since I've been back here living in my hometown that it's no longer the blue collar middle class town that it used to be.
Oh no,
It's
no.
it's become a bit of a rich man's town. Eh,
Well, because people are being pushed out of the market in Toronto, and a lot of people just want to get rid of the city and move up a little further north. And that's why you have, regions like Innisfil and all these other smaller towns. I mean, I remember when these places were one horse towns.
Yeah.
No, but
So do I.
that's not a derogatory statement.
Yeah.
We're talking about Newmarket. I remember when that was just a little town, just a nice little town.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it.
Yep. There was a farm across the street from the subdivision I lived in, right?
Absolutely. Where I am, I when we first moved out this way, it's in border Oakville, Mississauga. I remember just maybe 2 streets away from me, a little south, where the farms were still there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think more and more people want to get away from the city.
Yeah.
Now, that's just my opinion. They want a bit of space. You're not going to get the space downtown in Toronto. And that's nothing against Toronto. There's a lot of people that absolutely love to be living in the center of a big city like Toronto and many other cities.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. But for the most part, I mean, if you've got the bucks, you're going to get more bang for your buck moving up to little towns. Get out of their ways. A lot of people now can't afford to get cottages and, summer homes, things of that nature. So, you know what? You're going to get a bigger home, some property. So you move further north.
Mm-hmm.
In a place like Newmarket is a beautiful, town city now. Innisfil, I can't believe what's going on up there. Then there's Barrie and even places further north, Kevin, like Huntsville. If you go further north, Aurelia, of course, is really growing. And a lot of people are moving up that way. People that are getting ready to retire. Not only people who have retired, but people who are thinking of it are moving up that way and buying things.
And
right?
people who
And
have,
still working in Toronto.
right.
For a short time anyway.
The trend was before the pandemic, more and more young people were getting jobs with foreign companies and working from home. And
Right.
because a lot of other countries, they have different work cultures than Canadian work culture, where they're like, work from home. Yeah, fine. We don't have to pay for your desk and office space. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now, during the pandemic, now that pretty much like half the population is working from home, the Canadian office culture is shifting, and now people are moving away from the city and they're moving further north. I have a buddy who moved from Toronto to Winnipeg. He still works remotely for a Toronto-based company, right?
Well, you know what? That's the way things are going.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fantastic point, because with this pandemic, I know a lot of people that are able to work from home. And these companies, and the word I get from them is that they like this idea. A lot of companies like this idea. And just as you've been pointing out, everything comes back to money, no matter what it is. Think of the money those companies are saving
Thousands
without
and
having,
thousands of dollars.
without having to have that kind of space. And I think this will be the trend that goes on even after this pandemic is over, because it's proven, unfortunately, it's been COVID.
Yeah.
And it's been a terrible, terrible disease. But as far as companies are concerned, aside from that, the tragedy of it is that a lot of people who have been given the ability and the opportunity to work from home, they are doing the work. Everything is getting done. A few years back, some people would get that kind of arrangement, but there was usually problems because, a lot of people piss around. Right? They do a lot of that. But I think, and especially, a huge amount of the population have lost their own businesses, have lost a lot of money. I mean, this has been a terrible thing all around. So from what I see, I think people now are more apt to stick to the program, meaning their job, because they don't want to lose that. Because if they do, there's not a whole hell of a lot out there. Right?
Yeah, true.
So you know what? If I was in a position where I was able to work from home, which I'm not, I would be doing the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because kind of at that point where you're thinking of making a move, and I've lived in smaller towns before. I'm not saying Newmarket is small anymore. It isn't. But I would do that. I would do that. I would seriously look into that.
Mhm.
Of course, you want to kind of make sure you're secure in the job that you have, your position.
Yeah.
But I would do that, Kevin. I would be up further north,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Working from home is nice, and like, you get the 2 hours back of commute in your life, right? So you get maybe a little more sleep,
Yeah.
maybe you get more done, get some more
Yeah.
chores down and stuff. But
Mhm.
I kind of miss that inside the office, social, creating connections. Um,
Yeah.
People are a lot more friendlier to work with when you see them all the time, right? Every
I
time you,
completely agree.
right?
Completely
when
agree.
when you converse with people in the office, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Kevin, the friendly
That's
guy
right.
who, I don't know, brings in the crackers and cheese during
That's
the
right. And you
the
should hear
party."
what the others say. Oh, no. Yes, you're bang on again.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like collateral damage. It's a great thing for yourself, but yeah, and people. And I've seen more and more of this as the years are going by for the past while. A lot of people are unable to socialize. It's getting that way.
Yeah.
Lose out on the art of conversation, that camaraderie at work. Even where I am, as this has happened, it's funny. I mean, people first and foremost are afraid of COVID and contracting anything like that. But even people you used to be able to converse with, on a daily basis, typical hello, how you doing, good morning, you're not getting much back.
No.
You are not getting much back.
No.
All right. I never wanted to get nasty. Well, I don't get nasty about it, but sometimes you're past people you've seen for a long time. I'm not talking about people you just met up with. For
Yeah.
God's sake. Good morning. No answer.
Yeah.
I say, I guess not. They go, what? Never mind. Never mind. Have a lousy day.
Yeah.
And a lot of the so this COVID thing has happened, and a lot of the younger generation who are completely hooked up to their devices,
Yeah.
and even trying to talk to them, some of the younger ones at work, and they just it's like a blank stare. It's a bloody blank stare, I tell you. It's unbelievable.
That's something I think that a trend has been existing for like
Well, that
about
even
100.
before this,
Yeah.
even before this.
For
Okay,
like-
but it's made it worse.
Right. But
Okay.
for like about maybe 80 to 100 years, I've been noticing that the generations.
You've been noticing
Yeah.
for 80 or 100
No,
years.
okay. Well, anyway, so
Okay.
I think the social skills of the generations has
it's
been in a
bad.
constant decline.
Oh,
And I'm not putting myself up there, but what I'm saying is that I'm a part of that generation probably below yours, where it's
well,
hold on.
okay. I'm with you. Okay, I got you back, I think.
Change to microphone. What?
No, you're good.
Something's going on here.
Can you hear anything?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. Now I can.
Can you hear the tapping?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're back.
Was that
All right.
Morse code?
No, but I think the
Oh,
internet.
by the way, while we're talking about that, for anybody that even remembers Morse code, it's Morse code, not Morse code. Okay, go on. A lot of people say Morse code.
I didn't know people were getting that mixed up.
Oh, it's all because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, you were talking about the personality and being able to socialize in that. Okay, that's what we were talking about.
Forget that. I want to get back to, because I was going somewhere with my rich hometown talk. Okay, we totally got derailed.
Okay,
All right.
I'll be right here.
So anyway, I've been noticing that my hometown is becoming a rich man's town, right? And you might and you might be wondering, Kevin, how the hell are you noticing how much money people have, right? And thanks for asking, Dave. I'll tell you.
I was going to. You didn't give me a chance. Like, really? Go ahead.
The people in the neighborhood in which my parents live, right? They're like, it's okay. Maybe it's
what are you, Mr. Rogers? These are the rich people in my neighborhood.
Let me get my inside slippers on. Yeah,
okay.
Mr. Rogers. But
but I am not following you into the closet.
No.
Go on.
So I'm looking around.
We're really off the rails now.
Yeah. I'm looking around, and
Mm-hmm.
these people that I'm calling the rich people, the rich folk, they're
Yes.
people about around my age. So they're in their 30s, right? They've started families. They live in my parents' neighborhood. The houses are about the same size as my parents' house,
Right.
but they've got a couple of Porsche SUVs in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
They're ordering in these thing called meal kits. Do you know what meal kits are?
Oh, where they deliver the meals to you?
They they deliver
Right.
they deliver the raw food, the raw ingredients, and a
Yes.
recipe.
Quit banging your mic. Okay.
I know, sorry.
I'm getting a lot of that crap going on.
Sorry.
And you told me not to do that. You told me
I
to
did.
be careful of that.
I did tell you.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Food delivery.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're getting not just like meals delivered, but raw ingredients and a recipe for them to cook
Yes.
it themselves. This is
Yep.
this is the people that are looking for money to spend on ridiculous things.
Your cousin has done that.
Oh God.
Jenna. Oh yeah.
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 All right. Let's
Well-
throw her under the bus here, but
No.
anyway, so they're getting meal kits delivered. They're riding Porsche SUVs, right?
Yeah.
And then the other day, I'm picking up the mail from the mailbox, and there's a sign on the side of the mailbox, and it's 2 6th graders, and they're looking to walk people's dogs at $10 every 15 minutes. So that's $40 an hour.
And guess who will get that money? I bet you somebody is going to pay them to do it. First of all, oh, isn't that cute? You're a responsible young lady, responsible young man.
Yeah. They're not just responsible, they're geniuses. Now,
But that's smart. That's smart. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm with you on that.
because you know why? It's because first off, let's not skip past the fact that if they've got 3 dogs each, right? That's $10 every 15 minutes times the 3 dogs times 2 for each kid that's walking them. So now I think we're talking about what, $280 total that they're bringing home that they're probably not telling Uncle Sam, right?
They'll probably have a house in Newmarket before you.
Oh, yeah.
What? Anyway, so that's genius. Good for
Right.
them.
Right.
I'm with them.
Dave, you just totally blew up my entire punchline because my
Why?
punchline
Why?
was that I was going to be out there bidding
Well-
on houses and I was going to get
Oh.
outbid by a
Oh.
couple of 6th graders. That was the whole
You-
twist.
Well, you should have sent me your notes. Hey, man, come on.
All
Okay,
right.
but
Next time I have a whole bit planned, I'm going to warn you what the punchline is.
okay, so you want to steal this? That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, my head,
Moving
is
right
going
along.
wild. Anyhow,
So I'm trying to buy a house, right? And to do that in this market, you have to be creative about how to save money.
absolutely.
So the things I'm doing, I've got my wife, she's regrowing green onions on the windowsill. So that means she chops off
Are you serious?
half the green onion, she throws it in the frying pan, right?
Yeah.
With her
Yeah.
bulgogi. And then she replants
Hang on. Whoa. With her what?
bulgogi. It's Korean marinated beef. Yeah. I live in
sounds delicious.
If you don't forget, Dave, I live in a bicultural residence here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And
You're living with heathens and a Korean.
oh yeah.
Biculture.
That's
Heathens, bloody heathens. Anyhow,
I should have said tricultural residence now, but anyway, so we're regrowing onions on the windowsill. I'm growing out my locks because recently I've discovered that you can resell human hair on the internet for about $200 to $500, maybe $1,000. Some of these things get up to $1,000. Yeah, and since I've got the red hair, right? Since I've got the red hair,
wow.
it's a little rarer, right?
Yeah.
So I just
It's
put that
rare.
on the internet, let it
Yep.
sit there, mention my own price. I'll list it at 500, see if anybody bites. I check the listings. People are selling their hair for this kind of money, and they're selling.
You know what? I didn't know that about on the internet, but I know that's been going on for a long time. People selling their hair for wigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, I was going to donate this to cancer, but now I've figured out that if I sell it online and donate 15 to 20% of the money to
That's a
cancer,
good idea.
I
Yeah.
might be I might be helping out cancer a little more than actually giving them my hair.
So how long do you think until you're able to grow enough hair to do that?
Well, they say 10 inches is a good length to sell.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 inches. I think I might
Wow.
be at 6 or 7.
All right. So listen, promise me one thing. This
Yeah.
is a good idea. That works, and especially I like the idea of you giving to a charity or something. Whatever you were saying, that's a great idea. But don't get crazy when you find out you're making money selling hair, and then get into selling body parts.
No.
All right. Keep
No.
your liver.
Yeah.
Keep your bloody kidney.
Yeah.
Don't get caught into that.
Okay.
Just in case. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Because I care.
I'm
Really.
just selling the parts I'm going to throw in the garbage anyway.
No, I think that's no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You're just full of ideas. You're full of something.
I've got a few of them.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
I'm drinking a lot more tea these days. That's not as much. That's not really that funny. I'm drinking a lot more tea
Okay,
these days
why?
instead of juice and
Why?
pop. Why? Because tea's dirt cheap.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me something that was so good for you.
Oh, it is. It's healthy stuff,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But it's also like, what is it? Like 15 cents a bag, right? Whereas a can of pop is like
cheap.
60
Yeah,
cents.
that's cheap tea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
During the
It's
pandemic.
better to get off the pop and crap anyway.
Yeah, true. Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stick to booze and tea.
Anyway, I think I've milked that topic.
And you did. You did well. You did.
I-
Yeah. Yes. Well done. Well done. Yeah.
Did you hear about what Doug Ford, our premier, said about vaccines the other day? His new tagline?
That he said no. What?
No. So he said that
He's always entertaining, Mr. Ford.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said that if
Yep.
he was our prime minister, which is basically the president of our country, that he would be up the Pfizer guys, Yin Yang, which is the vaccine, I guess, CEO or whatever.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
He'd be
Okay.
up his
Yeah.
Yin Yang,
Yeah.
firecracker, calling him every day.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't stop until he got the vaccines. Now, I don't know if Douglas is after Trudeau's job here.
Well,
But it's basically calling them out.
okay. So you know about the Fords.
Yeah.
You know Rob, may he rest in peace, and
Yep.
Doug. I think was always the brains behind that operation.
Yeah.
I think he had the bigger aspirations.
Mhm.
Definitely, his brother was the front man. And look where he got to through all of that fiasco to get where he is today. I mean, I don't think he wants to stop there. Doug, to me, I don't think this will be the end. And I think what you're alluding to, that what does he want to be I think he does. I don't think being in charge of the province quite cuts it for him.
Mm.
And all that big talk about he would do this, he would do that. So many of them through the years, all these politicians that, if I was in there and I wouldn't take any crap or anything. But until you get in there and kind of see, who you can tell off and who you have to get along with, it's a bold statement. But I mean, that's part of his act too, right?
Yeah.
But I think Ford, he talks like that, but this is a big company, Pfizer, any pharmaceutical company. This is big money stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of clout with these big international companies. Not only clout within their environment, but in a lot of surrounding things like businesses. It's all money, 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 and into a lot of stuff. So you know what? He can talk the talk, but he can't necessarily walk the walk. And right now he's under the gun. I mean, I feel, can you imagine being in that position, even if you are doing the very best you can, doing the right things? Somebody on the side, it's like social media.
Yeah.
You could do a great thing and put that out on social media. I guarantee you within a second, maybe less, someone will be putting you down.
Oh, big time.
So yeah, he can bark away because that's what Doug does.
Yeah.
I mean, spout off a bit, and he probably, after this length of time in this situation, probably deserves to be able to say something like that. So, but by broadcasting it, you know what? It's kind of like I say, it's kind of he's trying to get across that he's a man, doesn't take any crap, and he's got to say something. He's got to say something because things aren't working out.
No, I every time he scolds Canadians on how they're acting during the pandemic, I eat it up. I love it. I think it's the way he talks to people. It sounds like somebody's parent. I told you not to go outside. I told you not to have a party, and you just don't. You won't listen.
Hey, my friends,
Yeah.
I told you not to go to the store with your wife and kids. He sounds like Lawrence Welk sometimes. I'm not putting him down.
No,
he's a smart guy to be. All these people have got something, smarts to get where they're going.
yeah,
He's done a lot of good things, but yeah, he's going to make mistakes. How the hell can't you make any mistakes?
yeah. There's no training manual on how to deal with the pandemic
so
and social media at the same time.
He screws up a bit. He comes back with a win. He's not consistent like Trump, who's just what.
Yeah.
And whatever, people like Trump. And
yeah.
Politics is a tricky subject to get into. The people storming Capitol Hill. Like, you look at it going, what?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, are you surprised? In the end, you're surprised it went. The only thing I'm surprised at, what I'm surprised at, and when they were accusing Trump of setting that up, getting it going, which I believe to a certain extent, yeah. I found it. I don't know if you watched on the news, CNN or whatever, the videos of it, when this crowd was coming in to go up on Capitol Hill. The one thing that struck me, and I said this to Sherry, saying, there is nobody, there aren't police, there are no security, there is nothing, there is no security, nothing there. And how the heck did that amount of people get? I'm watching on the TV and I'm going, they're just strolling in. They're just strolling in. A few years back, someone was shot or something happened on Capitol Hill, and probably in record time, that place was full of police and National Guard and everything. That was shut down, done. And whoever, I think it was a shooting, or someone showed up with a gun. They didn't even get close. And I'm watching people for about 3 minutes, one knucklehead doing the best he can to break through the glass of the White House. And nobody's there. And that other poor bastard running up the stairs and this crowd coming up. Where is everybody?
Yeah.
So the damage is done. The next day, you can't scratch your behind without police or security or something knowing what's going on. The Army's out, the National Guard, everybody's out there. And there was even the reports of people from inside the White House, affiliated with the Republican Party, of course, in the White House at the time, that actually had some individuals come in, and they figure, well, yeah, in the end, they were letting people in to kind of case the joint. Yeah, that's another story. I believe it. I believe it. Because this guy, that party the party, Trump, this man doesn't lose, Kevin. This guy has made his millions and his livelihood out of being a SOB, right? Why would he change? To see him when that inauguration's going on, and he's probably just, waving like this out the window of the airplane. He isn't going. None of this surprised me in the end. He can't lose. He's probably in someplace down in Florida right now, convinced he's still in charge. I'm sure.
Still sending emails.
Huge.
still CCing half the company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ford, he's had anybody, my God, in that position, anything. No, you can't. Someone's going to be on your case, and people, it's so chintzy. Will pick on anything, and I wouldn't want to have a job like that.
No
way.
No,
not that I could.
I think we're gonna have to talk about some. We're gonna have to sprinkle in some lighter topics here so that I can, balance it out.
All right. Okay, sorry,
Dave. If you,
I do go on.
If you had to choose, If you had to choose, this is a complete U-turn. If you had to choose a beef sandwich, a type of beef sandwich that you had to live with for the rest of your days, what would it be? And I'll give you some examples. Obviously, there's the roast
Yeah,
beef.
you'd better. Yeah.
There's the roast beef au jus. There's the Reuben. There's the hamburger.
The roast beef au jus? Au jus?
Yeah, like a French dip.
Beef
Roast beef au
jus,
jus.
nothing. Beef au jus, nothing.
You don't like that?
Forget it. You missed it. Okay, go on. Hamburger?
Yeah. Hamburger.
I thought you said beef au jus.
No, I said
Right.
beef au jus. Au
Well, it
jus.
sounded like au jus. And I thought, well, beef
Oh,
doesn't owe you anything.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
You know, it takes away a lot from it when you have to explain it. But go on. Beef, different types of beef. Au jus. Au jus.
Yeah. Au jus.
Okay. Is that French?
Yeah, it's French.
Okay.
I think it means with juice.
Why not just say with juice? Because it doesn't sound as good as au jus.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a good hunk of beef. Buff. So it's
Yeah.
buff. Au jus.
Yep.
Okay, go on, Kevin. Go on.
Is pastrami beef? I don't know.
No, it's pastrami.
What?
It's meat.
Okay.
It's not beef, I don't think.
Okay. So the
Pastrami.
hot beef,
Okay.
roast beef, au jus,
Yeah.
Reuben, right? Then
Yep.
then your standard roast beef sandwich. Then
Mhm.
it's like a sub style.
All right.
I can't think of any others.
Did you put
Steak sandwich, I guess. There's
Did
steaks.
you put hamburger in there?
Yeah, we did put
You did,
hamburger,
right?
Yeah.
Hamburgers. Between the Reuben.
Oh, wait, and then there's a Philadelphia cheesesteak. I forgot about Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go Philly.
Really?
Yeah, you thought I was going to say hamburger.
I did.
Yep. And it's a tough one because now I'm going to go back on that because you know what I'm like. It's hamburger for me.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Now, where I'm going with this
Okay, this ought to be good. I think.
is, have you been to Philadelphia?
I just picked hamburger.
You picked Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Well, I did. Then I said, no, I'm going to go back.
All right, let's pretend you said Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Oh, that's what you wanted. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. Okay, you know what? I think now that I think about it, I'll go for the cheesesteak.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
let's do that.
Have you been to Philadelphia?
The cheesesteak. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't. No.
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 Okay.
Why? They had the best cheesesteaks?
I have been, yeah. So I have been to Philadelphia, and you wouldn't believe it because I never liked the cheesesteak. Right? I thought it was a joke. Like
Why?
I've had Philadelphia cheesesteaks all over Toronto in like the typical corporate restaurants like the Kelsey's, the Montanas,
Oh, okay.
you know, all these places with their what is it, Tex-Mex sprinkled cheddar on
Right. Right.
the Philadelphia thing. And then so I thought it was a bit of a joke. And then I went down to Philadelphia for an event. A buddy of mine was putting on an art show, and he told me I had to try the local, Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich, where they actually use what they call down there whiz, right? They call it whiz, but it's up here we call it cheese whiz.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They put that on the sandwich.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it
And-
real cheese?
No, I think it's like some.
Okay, I thought they'd use the real thing. Okay, go on.
I think it's just like some kind of processed cheese whiz stuff. Anyway, I'm telling you, Dave, that the Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches
Yes.
are 10 levels above what we're getting
Oh,
up here.
Is that
To
right?
to the point where after my first bite, I knew this was going to be my meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and yeah, and like second dinner for for the
Cheesesteak
rest
with eggs?
for the rest of my stay in Philadelphia. For the rest of my every time I had a break from setting up the art show, I was out looking for my next Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich. They were that good.
Okay, so what makes it so much better?
I don't know. I think I don't. Maybe it's because maybe they're using a better cut of steak. I think they're sprinkling some kind of herb on the meat.
Okay.
The whiz actually complements the steak. Seriously, makes a big difference. And then the buns.
I've never heard anything good said about cheese whiz.
I've never said anything good about Cheese Whiz. I've always
No.
hated it. Maybe it's I love salt. Maybe it's the level of saltiness that these sandwiches
so
get
it's
to.
the okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah,
So it's the artery clogging ingredients
yeah,
that
that's
get
it.
you going.
So I don't like to travel much, right? I like to stay in my region. I like to stay where I know I know the restaurants. I like to go to St. Louis repeatedly again and again and again.
Yeah.
But I'm out there for work. I'm eating Philadelphia cheesesteaks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right?
Yep.
Now, Philadelphia from Toronto is about, I think it's an 8-hour drive.
You're going to go that far?
Yeah.
You would drive there?
No. Hold on. I went there for the job, and I rode down there with my buddy's mother and his sister, right?
Yep.
2 very lovely people, some of my favorite people on the planet.
Besides,
but oh yeah, besides you.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
These 2, they can't stand each other's driving, and they're the ones taking turns driving the ship all the way down to Philadelphia, and they don't want me to drive, right? Because I'm the guest. So they won't let me drive. I offered to drive. They don't want to let the guest drive.
That's a long
These
drive.
2 are going at each other for 8 hours in the car. One time, there was one moment where the mother told the daughter she spotted a grocery store or a liquor store on the side of the highway. Like you got to get off the off ramp and get into town to get to the store. We're in the fast lane doing 150, and she tells me, "Oh, there's a liquor store. Take this right." And she wants her to go across 4 lanes of traffic in the States. Right? And I'm like, don't you dare take that. Just stay where you are. If you want to catch a liquor store, you find it on a map and tell her it's 2 exits ahead of time.
Yeah.
Don't get us killed in a place where we don't have medical insurance, right? Canadians are not going to help us on this side of the border.
Oh, no. 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 That could be very expensive for a stupid turn to get to a liquor store you've already passed. I'm married to someone like that points these things out, right? And wants to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow,
just that's not really what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is my wife comes from a culture of beautiful people who
absolutely
who have invented things like the mukbang. Do you know what a mukbang is, Dave? I don't think you would. Most people don't.
Kidding me?
Do you know what a mukbang is?
I had trouble with beef du jour.
Okay.
I don't know what a mukbang is.
So mukbang
I think I've thrown a couple.
Mukbang is a Korean word that now Americans know about because what it is, it's direct translation. I think it means eat room. It doesn't mean eat the room. I think it means like eating in a room.
Like a dining room. We call it a dining room. Muck room. What?
No.
Well, you said you said to me. Okay. You said to me.
I did. So so what it is
I'll just let you go on. Finish.
A person shoots a YouTube video and they eat a ridiculous amount of food, and people watch these videos because they enjoy it vicariously. They're not eating the food, but they enjoy watching the person. Yes, and these videos are very popular, right? They get tons and tons of views. It's just somebody who's not even funny
to watch people overeat.
Yes.
Do they throw up?
No. And the killer is these are usually thin people. Like they're just, they don't put on weight by eating tons of food. So I think that's a part of the enjoyment is watching this person who's not calorie counting. I don't know. But anyway,
that's ridiculous. That's kind of the, if you've seen the videos of these hot dog eating contests. Ever seen that?
Yeah.
And these jokers stuffing themselves with wieners.
And you're wondering, who are these people in the crowd watching these shows? I think these are those people.
Yeah. What can I say? They're those people.
Yeah. So anyway.
And it's popular.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I mean, I'm not
it's kind
shitting.
Of sad.
I'm not shitting on these people because,
yes,
I
you
know.
are.
People
yes,
people look at me running around on a soccer field and think I'm crazy. So, to each their own.
No, that's a good sport. But you know what? I guess I'm not surprised to think people would love that stuff. Look at all these people. Look at reality TV.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that is a form of it.
Mm-hmm.
I sit there and people are And they're getting sponsors and everything, eh?
Oh yeah, big
And
money.
they'll be the top shows, top rated shows.
Yep.
The Housewives of Newmarket and all this stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, Dave, Dave, we're the morons. We're the ones who aren't getting it.
You're right. You're
Right?
right.
We're
And I've never argued that point. I wouldn't include you in it, but yes, Kevin, I'm the
Right?
moron. Yeah.
But anyway, my next point is
Who's making money? Hey, you're big on money. Who's
Yeah.
making money? These people, I'm telling you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, my next point is to speak about my wife's beautiful people, right? Is
Yeah.
that they also the Korean "what's up," right? The
What?
direct translation of the Korean phrase for "what's up" is "have you eaten yet?" This is how food oriented the culture is. "What's up" in Korean is "have you eaten yet?" And to say no, to tell the person no, is weird and just it makes everything awkward. You wouldn't. I think you just answered
Why?
yes, yes. I've eaten. I've eaten.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. But anyway, so where I'm going with this, is when I came back from Philadelphia from eating beautiful, delicious Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
She asked me, "Hey, did you have a Philly cheesesteak?" I said no. There was no time. I was too busy working. I didn't get a chance to try it because I don't want to drive back down 8 hours to Philadelphia the next weekend because that's what she's going to make me do. Just to have Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches. I mean, I'm not driving 8 hours for that nonsense.
No.
So just between you, me, and the listeners,
Yeah.
I've never had a Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwich from Philadelphia.
It's something I've never had either. Never been to Philadelphia, but I have heard that apparently that is the place. It's something else, and you just pointed that out, Kevin.
Another thing about Philadelphia is they all park on the road, and I'm gonna have to.
You can't. No way.
I'm
As
serious.
opposed to the sidewalk, or the driveway.
Illegal parking is just it's not enforced down there, so they all park on. If you've ever seen Rocky, you must have seen Rocky.
Yes.
You probably noticed in some shots that the streets are lined with cars on
always
both sides.
packed. That's right. That's
Right?
true.
And it's that's for real. I'm gonna throw a picture of that up on this video feed in the podcast so that people can see what I'm talking about.
And that's perfectly legal.
No, it's not. But the parking the Bureau of Parking Enforcement down there is so small that they only ticket a few sites that are known for it to an extreme level, and they just don't touch the rest of the city. People know, and they just do it. They take advantage.
There'd be too many tickets.
I bet you they save so much money in parking fees that when they get fined, the savings outweigh the fine.
Yeah, possibility. Yeah,
right.
Quite possible. Sure.
And people are survivors, right? They gotta make the smart play.
Yeah, you got that right. Why? Going back, why were you in Philadelphia? You said you were looking into a job.
Oh, so a buddy of mine, he puts on these art shows, and he calls me up. And
is that John?
Yeah, that's John. He calls me up from Japan and tells me he's putting on a show in Philadelphia, and says, "Do you want to come help me out?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Wow.
I just hang out with him. We set up the show, we run the show, we tear it down. They sell a lot of art. These artists fly in from Japan and sell their art. Yeah, it was fun. It's cool. I think he did 4 or 5 shows. I think I was a part of 3. We did one in Vancouver, we did one in Colorado, and then we did one in Philadelphia. And that's the end of that. Anyway,
interesting.
How long have we been going for? Do you have any idea of what time is it?
I have no idea, because anytime I get on the phone or anything like this with you, Kevin, time just flies by, and I haven't been timing it.
So I did have a couple. I think I had a couple more topics, but I think we've gone on for long enough. Maybe we should cut this and then save the rest for later.
So this was the big test run.
Test run. I think we can harvest this. I think we can post it.
Harvest this?
Yeah, I think so.
Fantastic, because we can do so much better. Think of the next one.
I know. Yeah, if you don't completely destroy my jokes. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Actually, since we're on here, I might as well just tell you.
I used to know a guy that would come up with a punchline, and I'd have to fill in the joke for him.
Oh, he just delivered the
Believe it or not,
punchline?
yeah, I get kidding. Oh no, and then no, but no, there's a priest. And then hit the punchline, and then I'd make up the joke for him.
Oh, okay. So, so he's like,
that's talent.
so my
Tell your
friend,
buddies at Ryerson that one.
yeah. Okay. I'll tell them
Okay.
about you.
All right. Anyway, hang on. I'm going to put my glasses on because I seem far more intelligent when I have those on. Although my eyes get really big. I got the old lady thing going.
Oh, God.
I need that when I'm working in the basement, Kevin, because you know what? I will never find these. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Actually, I might have to start using one of those because my glasses, when I bend over to work on something, they fall off.
Fall off.
And I'm
Yeah.
worried that the lens is going to
Now
smash.
you see, and you just laughed at me.
Yeah, I did.
But it serves a purpose.
It does. It
Okay.
does. All right. So what was
Thank
I?
you.
What was
Thank
this?
you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
We can sign off here. Cut this out. And I
Okay,
think,
my boy.
and if you're cool with it, I might edit it and then post it online and see what kind of action it gets.
You know what? No matter what the action is, the last time I was able to do this kind of thing was years ago, and I really loved it.
Yeah.
And I think this is great. I do. It's another good idea from you.
Oh, thank you.
You better patent a few of these ideas.
Oh shit.
Anyway, Kevin, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank
As
you
it
very much.
Always is. And we'll do it again.
I hope so.
Again and again. And excuse me. You start making money off of this, I want a piece of that action.
No, that's
Okay?
not happening.
Oh, wait a second. We're family, right? We're family.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Well, family and money, right?
It's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. Okay, well,
This is
if
a
that's
volunteer.
it,
This is a volunteer position for you, Dave.
if that whoa. Right now.
Yeah.
Right now it is. So anyway, so that's it for now.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we're
I
gonna do
think
this again.
Yeah, I think we've done like at least an hour.
That's hard to believe.
I know,
It's hard to believe.
right? We were supposed to start at 9. It took like 20 minutes to set up. It's
Yeah,
now
and
10:45.
And I didn't nod off or anything.
No,
Right?
Yeah,
At
we-
my age, that's what happens.
yeah, you have to take.
Now I
a
gotta go have a
siesta.
nap. Okay, we're gonna do it again.
All right,
Okay, pal.
that's it.